I got this problem. 3 years, Texas Board of Insurance Commissioners. 3 years, first report to the Texas Health and Human Services Commission. 3 years, second report to the Texas Health and Human Services Commission. 3 years, Texas State Office of Risk Management. 3 years, first report to the State Auditor of Texas. 3 years, second report to the State Auditor of Texas. 3 years, report the Federal Health and Human Services. 2 years. No. You don't get to dispatch your foreign agent outside the country so you can intentionally default and then try to export it abroad after you import a bunch of people to pay the taxes for you. That's what you fucking did. This is the problem. When I was there and I looked you all in the face and I was there with you and you strategically and intentionally refused to mention the name of the country, I knew at the time. I knew at the time. And that means everything you've done since was a premeditated, intentionally engaged conspiracy. See, when I come to you and say, I have a very justifiable, legitimate question about water bonds, and you decide to ping me off all over the place and steal what your community needs from me so you can first launder it through a tongue, you better hope they don't get fucking caught on D-Day. And that's exactly what's happened. It's not artificial intelligence. It never was. You do not get to claim a defense of not guilty by mental defect. This is a lot. This is a lot to traffic to Texas and then try to co-conspire with your operators within Texas to default on, hoping you're going to be able to export it. You're not going to be able to do that because even if they do get it, they're not going to get what they need to actually do something with it. They're all fired. And I got what I needed to do over the weekend. You don't have the insurance. You were never justified to do it. You're killing yourself. And you know, I have to be honest with you. It's excruciating for me to know every day that whatever the rationalization was for accepting this strategy, it kills you. You already murdered my family. I made a commitment based on your request that I do so to provide some manner of justice for what were actually wrongs. But the strategy you chose revealed the worst. In you and whoever it was you decided to prioritize over who you already had. You went out seeking something you thought was better than what you had right there. So you were willing to take me and everything I had to offer and try to sacrifice it, hoping that you could leverage it to get something better. How many people are from Honduras in this country right now since that little maneuver that happened 1 year after those 5 bond issues in 2017? How many people right now are in the United States from Honduras on a 5-year convertible from that trip that that guy from Gitmo, who was released, made to Saudi Arabia with a diversion on the way? See, in Saudi Arabia, they will behead you. They won't just zap you with radiation until you're so tortured you agree to just do drugs and let them tell you what to do. They'll cut your fucking head off. And I know that, and I've known that the whole time. We don't have the leverage to keep this up on terms that somebody else will accept here because they can offset here based on what they're losing there. People have lost too much in their own country to let these spoiled Americans get away with what they're trying to do. And I know that. And you've already done everything you can to let me know I'm not one of you. I can't even start over because you won't let this go. I am not going to respond to the Federal Reserve benchmark today. And you're not going to get to relay or divert this outside of the United States. It hits here. You should never have tried to play that game with me. You should never, ever have tried to chase my ass down through 3 fucking states and make me a bonded instrument of your tongue. Very, very bad idea. Who murdered Ed Lee? Who called the fucking hit on Ed Lee? Mayor Ed Lee. I don't give a shit if you like his politics or not. I don't give a shit if you like somebody better than him. You liquidated him to give him to a different racial demographic playing a goddamn fucking tongue game. Who called the hit on Ed Lee? You're going to need to produce the evidence, including the names of the people involved with the directed energy targeting of Ed Lee while he was in that grocery store. And then you're going to need to provide information about who ran that tranche of transactions based on the emergency services call to the ambulance that picked him up and then took him to the hospital. I got the records I need. You're going to need to start producing actual evidence, San Francisco. Let me tell you something. I would cut off all your fucking water today until you produce it. You better hope that you did what you were supposed to do and prepare your own emergency reserve while you guys get your subpoenas and you get your actual evidence together. If it were up to me, I would cut the fucking water off to the entire fucking county of San Francisco today until you get the list of names and the actual evidence regarding who called the hit on Ed Lee. Your tongue ends today.